Welcome back. Sold Out Sports Talk on AFR Talk, where faith, passion, and football, faith, passion, and sports come together for 1 hour every Saturday night at 8 Eastern. Of course, you can follow us right here at Facebook at Sold Out, 2 words. A lot of our athletes go there. You can go there, and you can make the Sold Out Pledge. And the Sold Out Pledge is one thing, that you'll be drug and alcohol free in your schools, that you'll do everything you can to help others to do the same thing. And one of the things that we know in life is that in this book, The Jersey Effect, you're going to get some foundations, you're going to get some principles, you're going to get some fundamentals. And we talk all the time about the fact that one of the beauties of sports that offers something very unique to the rest of the world is that it demands teamwork, it demands team play, it demands responsibility, accountability, and most of all, your best effort at all times, regardless of the circumstances. And nobody knows it better than our guest, Hunter Smith, Super Bowl champion punter, Indianapolis Colts. He went on to be a Redskins punter, 11 years in the NFL. And, you know, a lot of people think about the fact, Hunter, that in the NFL it's all about glory, it's all about Super Bowls, it's all about rings, it's all about everything, you know, goes the way of these guys. You get paid a lot of money, you get accolades right and left, you're the toast of the town. But many people don't realize that the ups and downs of this league are what you're talking about in the Jersey Effect, and the ups and downs of life are the same way. And, you know, one of the stories that Coach Dungy talks about in his forward for you in the Jersey Effect is the fact that, you know, you can be on top of the mountain like you were in 2007 and winning a Super Bowl. And then, you know, when you were the Redskins, 9 seconds to go, you're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're holding for, you know, potential winning opportunity, and the ball slips through your hands on the snap. You know, the result of that is that, you know, you were released from the Washington Redskins. And in football, you know, the fine line between success and failure is so thin. And what people don't realize is that there is a great deal of pressure, that things do sometimes look easy. But I know, and you know, and I hope that people realize through this book that struggles in life are a part of being successful. And a lot of people in our society are teaching our kids today that first time you fail, you got to quit. What do you say to that?
You're exactly right, and that is one of the things that drives me crazy. We value at all costs people being comfortable, and people, you know, everybody wants their kid to be the most successful. And I guess my response to that would be, if from a Christian perspective, if you want to talk about the great people who have walked on the earth, starting with Jesus, life was full of things that the world would have deemed as failures. Now, not sin failures or moral failures, but, you know, leading your movement and then being killed as a result of it. The world doesn't look favorably on that. That doesn't get made-for-TV special made after it. You know, Paul, so many of these great men of God who wrote the New Testament being martyred for their faith. When you look at that, you go, wow, well, that doesn't look like success. But I think it's important to remember God sees success differently. And for me, as crazy as it sounds, dropping that snap, losing that game, being released, you know, after my whole life of playing football, for that to be the final moment of my career, it's really anticlimactic. In fact, it's tragic in the world's eyes. And I won't lie and say that it wasn't hard and that I'm not going to say that it was fun or anything like that, but I can say it's one of the best things that ever happened to me. I grew more through it, had more impact through it than I ever have through anything that I've done that was successful or good. And that is the God's honest truth.
Hunter Smith, former Super Bowl champion punter, Indianapolis Colts, is our guest on Sold Out Sports Talk on AFR Talk. And if you want this book, I tell you, the fact that, you know, Tony Dungy doesn't lend his name to many things, and the fact that he wrote this forward tells you that this is a special book, not just the fact that Hunter has a great story to tell, but that these two guys were joined at the hip in an effort to win a Super Bowl and also in an effort to win souls for Christ, which a lot of people don't understand about Christian athletes, is that, you know, football is important, yes, winning a Super Bowl is important, but the most important thing to Christian athletes is living the life of Christ and making a difference in their teammates' lives and in their families' lives and their communities' lives, faith, family, and football. And Hunter is a great example of that, and that's why you need to get this book. You need to go to jerseyeffect.org, or you need to go see him at the Hunter Smith Band Facebook or on Twitter. Hunter, one of the things that I'll never forget covering that Super Bowl championship that you guys won was in the locker room. It was in the well, I guess we need to explain real quick to fans what this is all about. When the players come off the field after the Super Bowl trophy is awarded, CBS or NBC or whoever's covering the game will usually go to the next program. Our program, Faith, Family, and Football, doesn't end until the players get in the locker room, and there's an interview room where both teams are taken and where they get on a podium and they have the opportunity to speak to, hordes of press that are there, and then, of course, you have the locker room as well. But we were outside, and Coach Dungy came outside to a throng of press because, the huge story for him was being not only a Super Bowl champion, but the first African-American coach to win an NFL championship. And the first question out of the mouth was, what does this mean to you, which comes out of the mouth of a lot of people after a Super Bowl. And I'll never forget him looking in the camera and just saying, this is a pretty big deal, but it's not the biggest thing in the world. And he started talking about, what it meant to him in terms of the team and faith in God and the overall of what you're talking about in the jersey effect. And I thought that probably was one of the most powerful things that I've ever heard a coach say after a Super Bowl game.
And I don't think you'll hear anything more powerful than that. That's exactly right. Coach Dungy always had and still has first things first, and it's not just some kind of creed he lives his life by. He's in love with Jesus, and so I think it's an important thing for people to know in the world out there. There's no love in some religious person getting up and banging the table in the name of God because they're trying to force people to believe or to recognize their God or something like that. But there is love in what Tony Dungy does, and that is he stands up, and it's as natural as breathing for him to talk about Jesus and to talk about God and what God has done in his life. It's not an axe to grind for him. It's just life. It would be more dishonest if he didn't talk about God, because God means that much to him and is such a natural and central part of his life.
Now, you're a well-rounded guy. I mean, you're writing this book, of course, called The Jersey Effect, but you're also musically inclined. Tell me about the Hunter Smith Band. I'm hearing that you finished your first album, and what kind of music can we expect, and why do you do it? I mean, what do you have the same passion for music that you had for football, or is this something that relaxes you, or is this something you really are going after in terms of a career?
No, this is not a hobby. This is not relaxing. It's absolutely my passion. It is. I've been playing and writing music for most of my life, and it's a way I express myself. I feel like it's a great way to reach people. And I think that entertainment is of great value in the outreach process, and that's what we are. We are not a contemporary Christian band in the sense of that genre. We are a country rock band, and we feel like we are called to the world. The Hunter Smith Band is called to reach the world and to be in the institutions of man and reach people for Christ. And so that's what we're doing. That is what the Hunter Smith Band is all about, and if people want to learn more about it, they can go to our website at huntersmithband.com or our Facebook page.
All right, here's a question for you that I've thought about, because I like country western music and country rock, what you're talking about, and there are so many of us. It's such a ingrained music genre in the United States of America. What is it about country western music or that genre of music that catches people's souls so greatly, because it's so widespread, it's become so huge in our country, and when you look at country western now, it used to be a 35 to 64 audience, but it's getting younger and younger and younger as you see some of these talented bands in the country western genre.
I think that people love stories. Jesus used stories to teach. And it is a neurological fact that our brains learn better from stories than from any other source. We are able to retain the essence of a message through a story better than any other method. And country songs tell stories first, and second of all, for the most part, and there are moments here and there, but for the most part, country music is happy. It's not down in the dumps. It's not dark. And people like to hear stories, and they like to feel good. And so it just naturally makes sense that country music would be the most popular genre of music in America.
Of course, if you want to join Hunter's Facebook page, it's Hunter Smith Band at Facebook and on Twitter as well. Now, where are you at on the Twitter, Facebook thing? Are you into it?
Oh, yeah. No, we're all the way in. We're, at Hunter Smith Band. We're on Facebook, the whole thing. We really enjoy it. I think it's a great thing. The world has gotten a lot bigger, and the market has gotten a lot freer. You don't have to be involved in record labels or publishing companies or anything like that like you used to be. You can do a lot of the work on your own through social media.
Hunter Smith, final moments with the former Super Bowl champion. This guy loves to write music, Hunter Smith Band, and, of course, his Jersey Effect. You need to get this book, thejerseyeffect.org. One of the things, if you're a sports fan, I always have sports fans on this show, on our television show, and so many fans that will come up and ask about what players are like. I'm not sure whether you can find a better opportunity to find out about a group of players that made a difference in so many people's lives, that were not just Super Bowl champions, but were difference makers in everyone's life because of what they did. And we talk about this no matter where you're at, you have an opportunity to do that. So when you look at this book, and we've been talking about Ben Utecht and Dallas Clark and Peyton Manning and Jeff Saturday and so many, Tony Dungy, Clyde Christensen, Frank Reich. I mean, you can just go on and on. Coach Caldwell. You got some great stories in this book that Hunter has documented that you need to get. The Jersey Effect is the name of the book. Hunter Smith is the author. Hunter, I tell you what, it goes by awful quick. Appreciate you coming in. Wish you nothing but the best with the book, and we'll be following that band, the Hunter Smith Band, and look forward to hearing more from you. Roman, thank you so much. It's been a privilege. When we come back on Sold Out Sports Talk on AFR Talk, we'll close it out for you. We'll get you ready for, going on big game 7 right now, the Celtics and the Heat. NHL Finals. Can the Kings close out New Jersey tonight? We'll get you ready for NASCAR and golf and a big sports weekend right here on Sold Out Sports Talk on AFR Talk.